Okay, now we're videotaping. Okay. All right, Mr. Hathaway.
Hi, my name is Dan Hathaway. I was born here in San Luis, at Mountain View Hospital, just a few blocks over that way. All my brothers and sisters were born here. Most of us at Mountain View, some at French, the old French, and one of them, Sierra Vista, is the youngest. I've lived in San Luis, for more than 50 years. I grew up here. After I got married, we lived here for like 30 years, 25 years. We've seen the changes in this town, and I can't think of one change that has been for the good. It's just not the same town. San Luis used to be such a wonderful town. It was an absolutely incredible place to grow up. Now I avoid this town like the plague. For a long time, I tried to get my wife to move out of here, and she didn't want to do it. And then eventually we did, and we moved to Atascadero. And after a week, she said, "Why didn't we do this sooner?" It's just not a pleasant town anymore. The friendliness is gone. Already today, I've been standing here for a while, but one of my big gripes has always been bicyclists on the sidewalk. Yes, I almost got run over by a bicyclist on a sidewalk. We've been hit up for money by a panhandler. And I just not touching the town anymore. I'm really glad to be out of it. My prayers are that something will happen, that the people of San Luis will start electing quality people and just turn this town around and bring it back to somewhat like it was, just a respectable, wonderful place to come and visit. It just isn't anymore. There's nothing here for me. There's just all the good stores that I remember are gone.
Now, your father used to own the Jack Hathaway Porsche dealership across the street from us, correct?
Volkswagen, Porsche, Audi, and also Kitty Corner, that used to be Mission, Pontiac, Buick, and GMC. And if you want to go back farther to the early 60s, late 50s, he was co-owner of Jack and Jerry's Auto Supply, which was a speed shop. They were into racing. He ran the drag strip here. Actually, it was at the airport. I think it was the last Sunday of every month. He did that for quite a while. Just really into that stuff. But all that stuff's gone. I realize there's changes as things progress, but there is no progress. It's just not the same.
Do you feel that our city manager, city attorney, our mayor and council have failed us?
Absolutely. I remember when we respected the mayors. I'm trying to think. Clell Welchel. What are some of the others?
Dave Romero.
Oh yeah, Dave Romero. What a
wonderful guy.
Good guy he was.
Put in an awful lot of hours.
Yes,
a good man.
And that's the type of people you want. Good, honest, solid people that respect the law and just they're concerned about the city, not about their own image. And that's what's happened. It's more, it seems like it's, look what I did for the city, look what we could do now. And it really doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make sense. Some of the bike lanes, they're closing the streets for bikes. And if you're gonna do that, why don't you watch the bikes and get tickets for not following the law? And they don't. So I don't know. I'm just glad to be out of here. And I only come down here very rarely.
How do you feel about public comment at the city council and board of supervisors pretty much being shut down so people can't voice their opinion?
I tried to call yesterday to make a comment for the board of supervisors meeting, and the mailbox was full. I talked to somebody else about it. They said they got a message that the system crashed. I will admit I've only been to a couple of city council meetings here. But I remember it was, what's his name? I can't remember the mayor, the guy that was the teacher of college. Can't remember his name, but he was one of them leftist type people, and they said, all right, this is what you can say in the public comments. And this was dealing with Ernie Delidio and the Delidio project, and I guess the traffic. And then people got up and started talking about other stuff instead of what he said to talk about. And it's just not right. You have to listen to the people. They work for us, and they need to start doing it. Get out of their little mind, their own self, and start thinking about what's really best for this city. I don't think they're doing it. I don't think the Board of Supervisors as a whole is doing it. So it's sad. This was such a great place to grow.
I'll be holding protests that will be nothing but public comment for City Council, on the agenda as well as not on the agenda. Do you think that's a good idea for folks out front of City Hall?
Yes, absolutely. People really need to see or get an idea what's going on. When I first got here, I was standing over there, and it was Tommy. The sign was out, and somebody next to me had a sign that said Tommy Gong, and I saw a girl drive by, and I saw her lips. I read her lips kind of. She goes, "Who's Tommy Gong?" Okay. And I wonder how many people we could ask. Who's the mayor? Who are on the city council? Who is your representative on the board of supervisors? What district you're in? I don't think anybody can tell. Who's their state legislature? I don't think most people know. And they need to know. They need to know about this stuff. At our church, we have a group that's involved in watching the different laws that are being proposed. And there are so many laws. Nobody can really follow them all, and a lot of this stuff gets done in secret. People don't get to see what's going on. So yeah, you need to protest. You need to find out what's going on. Get your head out of the sand and vote for what's right, and make sure that all the votes are counted, and that some aren't counted twice or 3 times or 4 times.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Hathaway. I appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
You have a great day, and God bless you.
God bless you.
Keep it up.
I will. You too.
Thank you.
will.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi.
If you're,
Is it okay if I videotape you?
well,
now?
let me just give you some information. If you haven't interviewed Laura Mordaunt yet, Laura was at a Zoom meeting that had Tommy Gong and others on it. She is an eyewitness account to the back and forth that went on that, and she can give you the best information.
And how would I get a hold of her?
She's right across the street.
Oh. Would you like to introduce me?
Yes. Now I don't know. Who do you represent?
I'm Jeffrey Speck. I'm part of We the People.
Oh, part of We the People? She will probably talk to you.
Just part of all of us, We the People, is what I mean. I'm very much for transparency in our Constitution.
Perfect. Let me introduce you. She's on the Republican Central Committee, but she's
Nice.
there in person at a lot of stuff, and she can give you probably the best information.
Good deal. Thank you.
My name is Diane, by the way.
Diane, last name?
Greenaway?
You look so familiar.
Oh, well, I've lived in the area for a long time. Been part of the Tascadero Colony days for a long time. And
I ran for mayor in 2014 here in San Luis.
oh, did you? Okay.
And I ran for city council this last go.
Okay.
I'm too conservative for this crowd. Hi, how are you? Is it okay if I get you and your flag in here?
Flags.
Nice.
Flags. Let's see. Well, get this way. You can see what it says.
And what does this say?
Appeal to heaven.
An appeal to heaven.
Appeal to heaven.
An appeal to heaven. It was George Washington's flag.
Nice, I like it.
Oh,
I like that a lot.
If we ran.
Oh,
maybe
we
not
can.
do it.
You want to, or?
All these other cars are crossing. I think we'll have to wait for the next one.
I can do that.
Push the button. But I think we have to wait. Yeah.
I like to see the support we have going here. I'd like to see more, of course.
Yeah.
But
The time has come. We are in a war. It's not conventional warfare, but it's still warfare.
would you consider what we're experiencing is civil war without shots fired yet?
Yes. I would.
I would too, ma'am.
Information war, covering up things that are true and pretending things are
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time here.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
I'm Jeffrey Speck.
Well, let me see if I can make it into that. Hi!
All right. Hi.
What's your name?
I'm Jeffrey Speck.
Oh, Jeffrey, I have talked to you before.
How are you?
Good to see you.
You did look familiar. It's nice to see
Here
you.
we go. Good to see you again.
Hi.
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 Well, you should meet her.
Is it okay if I videotape you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeffrey, this is Cindy Muir. Hello.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Super knowledgeable. I want to introduce him to Laura because Laura's got this eyewitness.
Hi, how are you?
down there.
Now, you're very patriotic. How's your brother?
My son.
Our son, I'm sorry.
He's here.
Is he around here?
He might have gone and got something to drink, but he's coming right back. Oh, yeah,
I'll tell you, you folks are at all of these, and God bless you. Really, it takes this kind of dedication.
Thank you. Come on. I want to introduce you to Laura.
Reggie, how are you, sir? Nice to see you. Dane. No, I'm not.
Hey, Laura.
So, Jeff, what are you going to do with
Hi.
Is it you that Cindy was sending my way?
It
I
is.
told him, well, he was asking people what the deal was like with Tommy Gong, and I said, look, you need to talk to Laura because Laura was like an eyewitness. She can give you the
And you're
lowdown.
who she was talking about.
Talk to
Okay,
Laura.
I know you.
Yes, I know.
I wasn't sure. I'm better with faces than names in a
We
lot of
all are.
cases. I'm sorry.
We all are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is it okay if I videotape?
Okay.
Well, she was mentioning that I know you go to a lot of these, most of them, if not all of
I
them.
used to. I tried to stay away from the chambers. You mean the elections? Yeah. Yeah, I used to observe and count.
What I'm going to be doing is putting on a series of protests, and they will be at City Hall here in San Luis, and they're going to be about public comment. We're going to do nothing but public comment, items not on the agenda, as well as on the agenda, and have 15 minutes per person to speak. What do you think about that? Is good idea? Bad idea? Undecided?
Well, I think that in general, you don't want to have 15 minutes per person in public comment. But when you have a hot issue or something very complex, then you should allow maybe a team of experts, citizenry. It doesn't have to be a professional, because citizens do study. It's a matter of what you know. It's not your degrees behind your name. And so I would judiciously utilize that opportunity. Like today, here, you should. I have asked for equal time that we could speak. Tommy is going to speak, but he has a one direction. We have a one-party rule state, right? So by one-party rule, Tommy is only going to give the Board of Supervisors options that the Secretary of State provided him. Now, I don't believe that the Secretary of State's choices are good for us as voter integrity individuals. So unless you have the opposing view, so I'm hoping that Supervisor Debbie Arnold and hopefully the other supervisors will agree that Tommy needs to come back with other options, not the ones that the Secretary of State forced on us. And so then that would be a good time to have 15 minutes for citizens who organize and are very confident and aware of that issue. So you can have opposing views, or you could have a richness of other views. But if you did that on a blanket basis, it would make government unwieldy, because it would take up way too much time. So it would be when it's deemed necessary, because the staff doesn't always put opposing views for our supervisors to look at.
Thank you so much for that feedback.
Okay?
I appreciate it. You know, it's nice seeing you, ma'am.
Exercising their right to form a new state provided in the United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 3, and Section 4. We are determined to live under a state government in the United States of America and under the Constitution of the United States. The New California Declaration of Independence of January 15, 2018 states, whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to either to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. When a long train of abuses and acts to seize and hold the people's power without legal authority and pursuing invariably the same object that clearly demonstrates a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. The preamble of the New California State Constitution states, "We, the representatives of the undersigned counties within the state of California, do acknowledge and humbly invoke the favor of Almighty God for continued civil and religious liberty to ourselves and our posterity." The First Amendment of the United States Constitution states, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances." The Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution states, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized." The counties of New California State brought forward 95 Chapter 1 grievances between January 2018 and November 2019. On April 28, 2020, New California State will issue 95 additional Chapter 2 grievances to be announced in public on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. So, here is grievance 54. The people of California are suffering from a tyrannical state government which fails to provide a Republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border the invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence upon the citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a mono-party system led by a tyrannical dictator who openly defies federal law. California state government violates the following. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on an application of the legislature or of the executive, when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. U.S. Constitution, Article 6. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary, notwithstanding. First Amendment, U.S. Constitution. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. 14th Amendment, U.S. Constitution, Section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States, or as a member of any state legislature, or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. Order of the day, no school year 2 and 3. From the Epoch Times, May 3rd, 2021. Quote, Anita Dunn, a senior advisor to President Joe Biden, told CNN during an interview on Sunday that Biden is not certain schools can reopen full-time for in-person learning this fall because the pandemic is unpredictable. President Biden said in an interview that schools should probably all be open in the fall. Can you clarify? CNN host Jake Tapper asked. Tapper also questioned Dunn if Biden would stand up to teachers' unions if there was pushback about opening for full-time in-person learning. Now, he said probably. He didn't say absolutely, Dunn said. But given the science, if the vaccination program in this country proceeds, if people do go get their vaccines, he does believe that schools should be able to reopen in September and reopen safely following the CDC guidelines. But he said probably. He said, did not say absolutely, because we have all seen this since, unfortunately, January 2020. It's an unpredictable virus, end of quote. Biden just signaled to California's governor there will be no bailout next year. You're on your own. To the California governor who thinks kids come last and China comes first, the schools will be closed for an additional year, thus destroying another generation of California children. Let's be clear, the real reason schools will not open for the 2021 and 22 school year in California is there is no money to open to 100% capacity. The state's financial picture indicates cash deficits are still expected to be over $100 billion for 2021 to 2022. With no help for any additional funds coming from the federal government, the schools are destined to sit idle for an additional year and perhaps be closed for the 22-23 school year. Why should we open the schools when all they do is offer a propaganda anti-American curriculum directed torture techniques of masking, social distancing, and forced vaccines? We shouldn't open under the state of California's direction. New California State believes kids come first and will not tolerate or stand for another year of school closures. Hang on. New Californians are experiencing a failed state environment. We must not wait to pick up the pieces, but rather position ourselves for what we know is coming. California is headed for collapse as a state in just a few short months, as its trajectory is now set in stone by a pusillanimous, craven dictator who chooses to violate both federal and state laws while ignoring the original constitutional structure set forth by the founding fathers of the United States. The government of California, the current socialist governor, dictator, and monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the U.S. Constitution. The Insurrection Act of 1807 and the Emergency Economic Powers Act are United States federal laws that govern the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to put down lawlessness, insurrection, and rebellion. The California government, in conjunction with the socialist state executive, instituted wherever the current socialist governor dictator has usurped power, has actively engaged in acts of secession, and have created a reign of terror on United States citizens living in California with the intent to secede from the United States of America to thus destroy the very union of states which secures our liberty and freedom. Betrayal by the sitting socialist governor dictator of California, the monoparty legislature, and local elected officials is evidence of abdication of their responsibilities of authority and sovereignty over the citizens of the United States living in California state. So our prayer is that the citizens of New California state pray for the military to exercise its authority under continuity of government and the Insurrection Act of 1807 to initiate the military's use of martial law, and create the restored government of California as requested by New California State to end the tyranny being foisted upon the United States of America. This concludes these proceedings. Well
Okay,
done.
next time,
Yeah.
can you believe it? I thought it was like one page or something.
How are you, sir?